Thank you.
Go ahead. Okay, very good morning to every one of you down there. And I am really very happy that in spite of a holiday today, and then I think in Malaysia and Singapore and most of the parts where people are celebrating the Chinese New Year, all must be busy, inviting. But still, with this situation, 100 people are down here. That indicates that these beautiful souls, you all are on the verge of merging with the water. Those of you who saw the video which Angie had played, the seven principles, what we need to. So the basic principle is when we blend with nature, we definitely can handle any situation just like a water where it is very flexible, and it is only giving. There is nothing it takes. Actually, it nourishes everything which comes in its way. So when we look at that, we also as human beings, we are a part of this wonderful beautiful universe. So we need to be the same, and we need to pick the qualities what the water has shown us. So in that way, I would prefer, let's go further and see. Of course, the webinar guidelines, most of you know that, these are the few guidelines. I wouldn't go into the details. Let me go to the next slide. Okay, now, today I thought let me give a little more information on the brain part, which I shared it last week. And today is going to be the second part. And I think from here, you all will be able to pick a lot of information. And today's presentation is going to be a little different so that you all understand. So such of those who are all attending this educative series organized by our Angie, George, and the group of terahertz family, I believe that it's a beautiful journey we all are going to walk through. Basically, I'm a epigenetic consultant wherein we work on preventive healthcare. So either you have a disease or don't have a disease, it doesn't matter. But what we look at is how do we become healthy? Very simple. Wherever you are, whatever you are, it doesn't matter. What we would do is we would guide you as to how to become and how to optimize your present health so that you become just like the water. Come what may, you if a river you place something in between, it still goes by the side and then moves forward. Water is like that. So it will not just say, okay, this man has put this block so I cannot move forward. It is not. Most of the time the water will move forward. So the same way we all need to move forward in our life, and that is where we are here. Just a recap of the last week. Brain forms an important complex organ of our body and needs important nutrients to function normally. And water. Now, why are we here is because of the terahertz water technology, which is down here. And that's where water plays such an important role. And its function helps in memory, attention, and the brain cell activity. These are the three main. I'm giving you the clues. Other than that, if your brain doesn't get oxygen for 5 minutes, there's a permanent damage happening in your brain. So, which is very important for how you take care of yourself. Then comes your left brain and the right brain needs to be balanced. Of course, it has its own function, which I showed you last week, but I would say both needs to be balanced for us to move forward. Now, there is something called a neuronal complex. This is what you all need to understand. I have picked up the information to give you in such a way that you understand very easy, and then you know what to do. Now, every second, there is a complex being formed, which is called the neuronal complex with your five senses. And it is recorded in the brain. It is recorded, whether be it your eyes, be it your ears, be it your tongue, be it your taste, or touch. Everything, the message goes to the brain and it forms a neuronal complex. Now, if you're going to think positive, okay, now what happens? There is a positive complex formed. For example, if I say, I love you, what happens? There is a love word, and the beautiful feeling of that love complex is already formed as a one neuronal complex. If you say 10 times, automatically there are 10 different complexes which is formed in the form of love. Okay. Now the same thing, if you are going to give any unfavorable, negative situation words or think, or you are exposed to that situation, what happens? your brain automatically picks that information and forms a complex. If you're going to talk negative about either yourself or the surroundings repeatedly, what would happen is the same complex is going to be formed in the brain. Now, when this is going on being formed, for example, if the word called love is 10 complexes down there, and if you have uttered the word I hate this person or the situation probably 50 times, what happens? Your 50 unfavorable negative words is more than the 10 words of goodness. So what happens? Your execution or the brain will execute the same thing what you have created. So what happens? It is your life and what you have collected all the while until today. Now, if you need to change, look to become positive from all angles. This is very, very important. You need to look everything very positive. Even in a negative situation, look for the positive side so that you give the information to your brain that it is positive and it's still okay for you to move forward. So what happens? The brain will automatically execute the situation to become positive and get back all the positive things what you need for that given situation. Now practice every day a new positive method to overrule the previous recording. Such of those who are all 50 years now, let me tell you, in this 50 years, what recording have you done? It's only you know. Nobody else in the world will know. Maybe you also will not know because you would have forgotten what kind of words you are. But today, let's look into a little different angle. Start looking more compassionate, more unconditional, and more positive, forgiving from your side rather than taking from this universe. So when you practice this, definitely your neuronal complex will become so positive that at one given time of your life, nothing can stop you from being the best possible creation. You should become that. That is what is your aim on this planet Earth. Nobody wants to become a bad person. That is 100%. Everyone wants to do the best from there. But as I told you, how positive are you? Giving the information to your brain is very important. Okay. Now, let me go into the brain waves. Today's is something to do with the brain waves. You all know there is a brain wave happening every second in your brain. Now, there are four different waves. Number one is your beta waves. Number two is your alpha waves. Number three is your theta waves. Number four is your delta waves. There is something called gamma waves, which is above 30 hertz. I'm not going to speak about that. Let's get into the beta waves. Beta waves is something very, very conscious. For example, you're driving a vehicle. We have been told that in a traffic light, red, you need to stop. All right. Green means you can go. This is consciously you have been loaded that. Okay. What happens? The moment you come towards a traffic light, you will stop because this is your conscious mind. Now, if you look at the same situation where a unconscious person, if he's there next to you, you think the same person with the unconsciousness can stop the vehicle or probably understand that there is a traffic light and he needs to stop? No, because when you're unconscious, you will not be able to know what you're doing. Now, here in a conscious state, I would like to share a very important information that when your brain waves is going towards 18, 18 cycles per second. Now there you see is between 12 to 30 cycles per second is beta waves. But what I would say is it's anything above 18 is high beta waves. High beta waves is not at all good for you and for the surrounding. Now why? The moment you touch 18, what happens? Gets into the high beta waves. What happens? You will lose rationalization. That means you will lose a situation where you need to either stop at the traffic light. What you will do, you will just override the traffic light, move forward. Now this is what will happen. Just imagine yourself if you're in anger or rage. What happens? Your brain waves are working anywhere above 18 towards 30 cycles per second. Now what happened? When you're in rage, you won't know what you're doing. Definitely you will do all the wrong things, make the wrong decision, and then repent for life after that. Now, this is where every one of us should understand that we need to be at a calmer state. Now, calmer state means what? At least be in the alpha state. What is alpha state? It should be between 8 to 12 hertz per second. It is a little relaxed state. Now, when this relaxed state, probably you're enjoying some music, probably you entered into a divine shrine or a temple or a mosque or a church. You just entered, you feel so calm that your brain waves get into the 8 into 12 hertz per second. Now, this is a very beautiful situation for us to handle a life a little more better than being in the high beta waves or even in beta waves. Now, what happens? There is something called the theta waves, which is between 8 to 4 hertz per second. Now, this is where it is called the problem solving. When this brain waves is at this particular, you can solve all your problems. Why? Because you will be able to understand the situation and bring out necessary steps for you to solve the situation. Now, there is actually, I would say, there is absolutely no problems on this planet Earth. Now, what is there? It's not the problem, how you look at it. It is a given situation for you. So always utter the word situation. It's not the problem you need to say or utter. Now, when you are in this state of mind, wherein we call it as a the theta wave, it happens, number one, when you are in a meditative state. When your breathing is very shallow, very beautifully slow, you're probably you're listening to some soothing music, so automatically you get into the theta waves. But to get into the theta waves, you need to spend at least minimum of 15 minutes in a relaxation mode, and then only your brain can get into the theta state. So such of those you want to get into a meditative state, you need to wait for at least 15 minutes, and then slowly you will be getting into the theta state. Now, other than that, delta state is of course a sleeping state, which you are not under control, and it will be in that either in the dream state or it will be a totally a dreamless state. Whatever it is, this can be achieved only when you work at the theta level to the fullest of your potential. You will be able to get into the delta wave being in this place. Now, this is a very deeper state of mind. But I would request you, most of you, try to maintain your brain waves between your alpha waves and theta waves is good enough. All right. Now, the good news for us is terahertz water is functioning at what level? It is at 7.6. So that is fantastic. That means the water is already at the theta level state. If the water is at the theta level state and you're going to consume this water on a regular basis, and you have total control of your mind, very important, your mind, what happens? You will be able to blend yourself, see the goodness of the terahertz water, and start moving forward. Next, what are the tips for keeping your brain healthy? As I told you, I repeat it once again, drink sufficient amount of water, take appropriate supportive supplements according to your requirement, and we do have a hair analysis wherein you will know exactly what is your deficiency. Appropriate breathing is basically to supply good amount of oxygen to your brain. Then brain exercise, wherein last week I shared, wherein you draw an 8 on the floor and start walking it anti-clockwise and clockwise equal number times. If you're going anti-clockwise 10 times, go anti-clockwise same 10 times. So what I said, it's put a number 8 and then go on walking. In fact, there is a play situation where there is a 8 on a plank where it can be grooved, and it is available on the online. When you buy it, you can hold it in your hand, and then this is basically through the eyes. You need to put a marble and then go around left and right. You can go on balancing your brain. Now, these are all basically they're out there in the market, and people are teaching how to balance your brain. Other than that, you need to understand, you need to learn every day one new word and a new skill. You have to do something different and learn something different. Then practice meditation. What is meditation? In my dictionary is very simple. Breathe in and breathe out calmly, and then slowly get into a state where you feel very relaxed. Now, meditation is something, it has to happen on its own. You cannot create meditation. You cannot do meditation. What you need to do, you need to just relax yourself. Automatically, things will start happening. The other very important information is detox. Detox plays a very, very important role. And there are a lot of things wherein available in the market, but There are a few things I recommend, and then probably when you all personally call me, I will tell you what exactly you need to do, because the lead and mercury in the brain affects the brain very, but it is a slow process, but it definitely happens. You would have seen 50 plus, many people forget themselves. Many people get into Alzheimer's. Many people get into dementia, wherein they forget things, and Parkinson. All these are all situations which are happening after 50 years. Now, why? There are many reasons, but the few what I'm recommending is your lead and mercury plays a very important. So we need to remove them slowly. Now, such of those who are all youngsters, you need to detox at least yearly once, regularly. Go for fasting. One of the best way of detox is go for fasting. It will help you to throw away all the unwanted waste products from your body. You have to practice this. Now, you should understand that water, 70% of the whole earth is surrounded by water, right? When the whole situation is like this, God created that 80 to 84% of the water inside your brain is also so much that it contains 80 to 85% of the water. Now, if you do not drink sufficient amount of water, what happens? As I mentioned here, even 1% of the water, if it is less in your brain, definitely there is a cognitive function or the brain function gets affected. That means your decision making, you can be a little bit irritable, you don't know what to do, it's a little bit of confusion. All these can happen just by 1% of water coming down. So that means hydration plays such an important role in our day-to-day life. Now, this is a general information wherein you feel you're a healthy person, but you can optimize your health is your choice. You need to do that. Now, how you can say you are a healthy person is if your body can heal thyself from any external threat, then your body is healthy. Now, most of us, I would say 99% in the world population, think that absence of a disease is a sign of good health. But let me tell you, it is not, and it is not. Why? Because disease is a situation which happens at the organ level. Now, I am talking about cellular level, which can be prevented. Like example, you can prevent diabetes coming into you if you can correct the steps or the metabolic situation at the cellular level. You can prevent the diabetes coming in. Now, if you already have a diabetes, what advantage you have right now is there are epigenetic factors which can be corrected and you can bring the disease to control. This is the first step. Now, once you bring it to control, later on, you can reverse the disease. If it is optimized, you can do it. It doesn't matter. Diseases can be reversed as long as you take the appropriate steps. If someone is coming in and telling me, Doctor, I have a stage 4 cancer, and can you help me to reverse back? Sorry, I will not be able to tell exactly whether is it possible or not. But I can definitely assure that even with a stage 4 cancer, what you all can do is you can work on the epigenetic level, make the cells more healthy, you become more healthy. And then, as I always told you, see, good and bad. Like if your situation is so bad, your cells are all totally, damaged and cancer cells are ruling your body, then how are you going to? You need to create an atmosphere for the body to create more good cells, healthy cells, and then only they can fight the cancer cells. Now, this is where, as a doctor, what we do, we want to kill the cancer cells. So that's where we come with the radiotherapy, we come with the chemotherapy. There are so many methods we follow. That is our standard principle. It's the best way to kill the cancer when we are talking about the treatment module. But what I would wish to let you know is why not look a little more different? You put in your efforts to become more healthy by proper dieting, proper nutrition you give to the cell, then proper exercise. Oxygen is a very important ingredient for your body. If oxygen sufficient is there, your cancer cells cannot survive. This is a very important information. If your body has sufficient oxygen, cancer cells cannot survive. That's where ozone therapy plays a very important role in curing cancer. Now, many of us are in a situation where we don't know what to do, but what you all can do is start doing the breathing exercises every day, 15 to 30 minutes. In 24 hours time, if you all cannot spend a minimum of 1 to 2 hours for your own self, Then my question is, why are you living on this planet Earth? You can give all the reasons saying that, yes, doctor, I am living for my wife, my children, whatever businesses, it doesn't work because you need to be healthy. That's when you can do a lot of things to your family, to your society, everything can be done. So start looking at being healthy. Now, such of those who are new here, what you need to understand is we all are looking at cells. That's the basic one. That's the basic unit of our body. Now, these cells, when they join together, they form the tissues. Now, tissues formed together is an organ, and the whole organs together, you are called as a beautiful human being. Now, we have to work at the cellular level. If you already have a disease at the organ level, you need to go back, do what is necessary. It may take 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. We do not know. Now, this is where a lot of people out there, by drinking terahertz water, they are expecting a miracle to happen immediately. But some people, in spite of drinking for 3 months, they wouldn't have seen any much difference. Yes, I have come across people, they say, I don't find anything. But I told them, it is not just water alone. You need to look into the nutrition. You need to look at your mindset, how positive. So there are a lot of factors. Now, such of those who are here, what you need to do is, it doesn't matter. The moment the terahertz water has come to you, that means it's a blessing from the divine that you have given them an opportunity. Because out there in the market, not everybody knows about terahertz. It's still okay. If you know what you do, pick it up, start working on it. So work at the cellular level will help you to move forward and help a disease to either reverse or to put a full stop to the disease and at least prevent you from going in for complication. This is what should be your aim. Now, water is such an important, these are all very basic I'm going through. Water carries nutrients, it carries oxygen, it regulates your body temperature. Then, of course, one of the main function is flushing out of toxins and waste from your body. Now, this is something which I need to let you know is, if by chance or out there who are all consuming this water and feel body pain and feel aches in the muscles, especially after drinking terahertz water, that means to say that when the flushing system is going on, probably there is a little bit of extra sodium, potassium, and chlorides are being flushed out of your cell. So what does it mean? That is when there is an imbalance of electrolytes, that will actually cause a little bit of pain, little bit of muscle ache, little bit of uneasiness, tiredness. So what you need to do, very simple. It's not a big deal at all. Add a little bit of bamboo salt. 6-burn bamboo salt is good enough. If not, even if you have a Himalayan salt, just add to your water, drink it up. Or you can just drink a tender coconut water, can sufficiently help you to recoup. Now, this is only a tip I'm giving you. But if there is something really serious issues with multiple diseases, don't tell me that, doc, these are all happening. So this is where you need to get our guidelines so that it becomes much more easier for you. Now, at the end of the day, water is an important element for our body. Yes, 100%. There is no doubt about it. Okay. Now, but just by drinking this water, do you think that your healthy solutions will come out just because you're drinking this water? It may not be a solution. Why? Because in the today's polluted world, your water is polluted, your food is polluted, your air is polluted. With so much of pollution, what is happening? Your body is bombarded with all the poison inside your body. So what happens? When it is poison is too much, just by drinking this water, it will help, but may not be to the extent where you are thinking that the moment you drink the water, you need to get the best benefit. It may not happen. So what happens? Balance, being holistic is the key for present situation. Now, once again, this is a very, very important information. You all need to understand. You are such a huge, like a 70 kg man. What happens? Your body is 60% of the water. In that 60%, you look at the cells, 25 liters. So for him, the 70 kgs weight man, he has 42 liters of water in his body. Now, when you have 42 liters, can you feel the 42 liters? No, isn't it? Why? Because that's the creation. So beautiful. Okay. Now, if your cell needs 25 liters, I'm talking about the 50 trillion cells in your body, collectively, little water inside it is 25 liters, right? It's always said, little drops of rain make a mighty ocean. So your whole body is also an ocean of water of 42 liters, but Every cell needs a minimum of a little water so that it can do its function. Now, when the cell has got adequate water, what happens? It will do the regular metabolism. That means taking in oxygen, taking in the nutrients, and utilizing those to the best of its ability to the what happened to your healthy body. Now, this is what your cell will do. Once the waste products are already produced, it will just slowly throw it out. Now, this is a process which is happening without you knowing it at the cellular level. Don't you think such a beautiful mechanism God has created? The water inside the cell can do so many things. But you and I, as a human being, why do we fail in so many areas of situation wherein we are not able to understand what is happening? We are not able to solve the situation. We are confused. We are, especially now when you see the COVID situation, definitely we all are in a jittery situation, jittery mode. What will happen? What the government is going to implement? Everywhere we are looking at what's going to happen. We are all puzzled, don't know what's going to happen. But let me tell you, whatever is happening is to the best of the universal law. So you are under the best protection and you are taken care, provided you don't send negative signals to your brain, and that signal picks up and then sends it out to the universe, and then it starts functioning. So let's look into how our cells can do the best and be happy, be thankful. Thanking your 50 trillion cells plays a very, very important role in your day-to-day life. Now, hydration is important, but at the same time, let me be very frank and clear. Underhydration, that means dehydration, is no good. Overhydration, that is also no good for you. What happens if your cells are hydrated? They look like what you see on the photograph here. When it is dehydrated, it looks something on the right side. Now, when it is dehydrated, what happens when you are drinking less of water? Automatically, there are situations where you will feel very grumpy, you will feel your urine, especially, it will be burning. All these situations will come when there is a less water. But if you are having more water, what happens? The same situation, but in the opposite way. You will have a headache, your blood pressure can go up, you feel nausea. Why? Because when there is increase in water, your brain also gets extra water. What happens? It pushes just visualize, it pushes your brain a little more because too much of water. So what happens? Definitely, when there is a pressure increase in your brain, you will feel like vomiting. I mean, most of you would have experienced this, especially when you are having your nausea and vomiting. You will feel very uneasy. Now, these are all because when you are overhydration, it can happen. Even muscle weakness. Why muscle weakness? Because overflushing of sodium and potassium will feel will create a situation of muscle weakness. Now, other than that, confusion. Imagine you're driving and if you're confused, what you will do, chances are that instead of applying brakes for your vehicle, you may give an accelerator, and then you will, a situation for accident is very, very prone. So you need to understand confusion. You may say, I'm not confused, but your brain functioning can happen. Many of you who would have met with an accident in your life once in a lifetime at least, certain times our decision making can make us a wrong move, which in turn will create an unfavorable situation for us. So you need to balance. So that means you can't be underhydrated, you can be overhydrated. Now, this is where we are all here. I welcome you all for this wonderful situation where we are talking about terahertz technology. What is terahertz technology? Is nothing but a wave which is in between your microwave and infrared. Now, out there, there are a lot of applications from the aviation industry to the mobile to the medical to the customs. But here, Terahertz Sindri and Bharat, what they did is they have brought this beautiful instrument which can resonate or terahertz the water. Now, this is where we are down here to share the information with you so that you pick the information, you decide what are the best possibilities, and you move forward consuming this water so that you become either healthy, hydrated, and then lead a wonderful, peaceful life. Now, terahertz resonated water is a very, very simple device. It's not a rocket science for you and me, but the company has definitely put in a lot of efforts to bring this technology because this is a third generation which has come into existence to our sale in the market. And then why third? Because the time duration for terahertz is only 3 minutes. So that means it's very fast. So when you can resonate the water, this is the device what you see on the picture here, and the jug what the company gives you. It's a standard operating procedure. Now, if you can use the same jug to terahertz one time, it is amazing. If you're going to terahertz two times, also it's still okay and acceptable. Now, when you can do this, this is what is a terahertz resonated water instrument and the jug. Next, the company has done all the background what it needs to bring this instrument to the market for sales. They have done all the testing. There are almost 14 different certifications and the 5 patents for this particular product, which gives us an advantage that there is always a good quality with a good standing certification from the definitely high profile bodies from China, and it is there with us. So it gives a positive confidence for us to move forward. Now, what are the properties of terahertz resonated water? Very simple. These are the 10 which we have brought it down. Very simple: antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal, antioxidant, anti-radiation, low viscosity, and when you resonate with terahertz waves, what happens? It increases your angulation of water by 3 to 5 degrees, which reduces your hardness of water, and it absorbs your minerals much, much better. So such of those who are using reverse osmosis water, this is a clue I wish to give you is you can add minerals to the reverse osmosis. What happens? Definitely this water can be consumed beautifully. So even with reverse osmosis is not a problem. You all can consume, provided you just add a little bit of minerals to it. Now, this water, terahertz resonated water, is 3 times powerful in absorption. That means the hydration capacity of this water is so powerful that it is. That means if you're drinking a normal 3 glass of water, this 1 glass is good enough. So that means its efficacy is very good. So you don't need to drink this too much, because once your hydration is balanced in your body, then you maintain that regularly check your blood so that you know where your hydration is good or not. If your hydration is good, it's fantastic. But sometimes you will forget to drink water, then automatically, or in spite of drinking terahertz water, your hydration may not be good. So that means to say that you have to consume a little more of water, which is only by checking you will know. Other than that, of course, feeling good is all already there with you, you know. But just do this checking. Other than that, the linear arrangement of the water is one of the main factors wherein the water gets absorbed much more easily inside your cell, supporting your telomere and the energy field. These are all definitely it is a possibility and the benefit is there. But for us to work on this, it will take some more time for us to do all these telomere tests. Of course, energy field test, Dr. Gunbo has already done in Singapore, and he has shown us that the energy field increases, your balance of organ happens, and then your stress level comes down. This is an amazing, this one, what Dr. Gunn has done from Singapore. I think this is good enough for us to know that it benefits your energy fields. Now, this is where you need to, this is a specific information about this water is, you're using a device with 0.96 terahertz resonation, or the wave created by the device is 0.96. The molecular width of the water is 2 nanometers, and the frequency, if anybody asks you what is the frequency of terahertz water, you need to boldly say it is 7.6 hertz. Now, out there in the market, there are 7.83, there are 50, 53, 35. There are, but for your body to absorb the water, it needs to be below 60. If the hertz is below 60, the frequency, then the water, as you see on the right side, the penetration is much, much easier for the water to get inside for hydration. Now, what are the benefits? Easy absorption, removal of toxic waste is there, mineral materials, and the cells and tissue become much more easier to remove all that. Hydration is good, then better absorption of nutrients. On the other side, we see definitely your better healthy cells, better cellular function, better control of disease. So I'm not mentioning a cure of disease, it's better control of disease. So you need to move from illness to wellness. That's it. Now, when you're moving to wellness, definitely in the process from illness, what will happen is there are changes happening. There may be, for example, Initially, when you're consuming this water, you will feel uneasy. All this can happen, but you are going into wellness. Give your body an opportunity for it to move forward. And because of the low frequency, you get all the benefits. But when you're looking at the high frequency, the mobile phones, the televisions, the microwave, all these are all high frequency vibrations. That is where it is not good for your health. Then, what are the advantages of using this terahertz water? Resonated water is it can be boiled. It was put under pressure and an X-ray. Still, it maintains the same consistency, and it can be clear when it is kept in a glass container or a container which is food grade. Definitely, you can keep it for more than 6 weeks without any worry. There's an additional information I want to give is if you can, for example, you're terahertzing today and then place it in the freezer. That means it becomes like an ice. You can keep it for any number of years in the freezer, and then when you take it out, the molecular structure will be still the same. So this is another information I picked up. Other than that, we have a fantastic certification regarding the quality. It's from Singapore, so it is good for us. And the best option for you to keep would be is in a glass container, mud pot, ceramic, and food grade containers. Is what you need to really avoid. The company has told avoid keeping it in the metal containers. Why? Because there can be a little molecular disruption of the arrangements. That's it. But I would say if you're having a glass, stainless steel glass or a copper glass, it's okay. You pour the water into it and drink it. It's not going to happen unless you want to keep it overnight. Maybe, but here also I would say out there, you're all wonderful souls there. Keep it and try it. What you need to do is keep it in a glass container, and then probably you need to do a blood test, once before and after, and once you're using a terahertz water in a glass container, just check it up. Definitely you will get information, and please do share it to us. Exposing to sunlight in a plastic container is not a good idea. So especially those who traveling, keeping it in the car and leaving it there with the terahertz water is not a good thing. Maybe it reduces its capacity of function. But as far as possible, if you can freshly prepare it and drink it is the best. And what you need to understand is the company prepared this jar with a purpose. That means the height of the jar, the width of the jar, it's all they planned. And why? Because when they expose the terahertz, they know exactly how far the terahertz waves can go, how far it can go and resonate, which is very important. Now suddenly you bring a 10-liter bottle and then you try to keep the terahertz machine on top and then try to terahertz. Definitely it will not terahertz the lower part of your water. So this is where the company is very, very clear. Use our jug so that it makes things much more easier. And the other very important warning I wish to give you is do not directly expose the device onto your skin for any kind of medical ailments to test it out whether terahertz can make the wound better or maybe the skin lesion better. Do not try because it is not proven. You cannot use this device. So the live blood testing, what happens? This is how you will see on the left side, you see the total clumping, which is not a good sign. That means your water content in your body is less. So what you do when you drink water, on the right side, what you see, a good hydration, you can see the arrow mark there with around this one is a good hydration. Whereas when the cells are dehydrated, what happens? It looks hydrated, but still not sufficient enough. So you need to drink more water. So many a times I would say if you're drinking terahertz water for a minimum of 2 to 3 months, you definitely would be able to see some beautiful health benefits. So you do have to wait some time because all depends on your body as to how you have been handling it before. Now, what I want to tell you, take home message, very clear. You need to be balanced. Very, very important. Be balanced. That is when you will be able to pick right information, utilize the information, and then apply the information in your day-to-day life so that you lead a peaceful, beautiful, and unconditional lifestyle of divine bliss. This is what we all want to do. Now, tips. This is where today I prepared this. What you can do, what you cannot do. Very simple. What you can do. Number one, water must be pre-filtered before resonating. This is very important. It has to be. Number two, if you have a reverse osmosis filter, just add minerals and resonate. It's beautiful, nothing to worry. Other than that, many of you would be having an expensive ionized water system in your home. Beautiful, but I would say please do utilize the 8 to 8.5 pH is good enough. But if you want to try with 9.5 pH of the ionized water and resonating it, it is good, but you need to see how far and how long can you use it, because your body doesn't need for a too long a very high alkaline pH water. Your body doesn't need it, because your body function at 7.4. Whether you like it or not, it will bring back the water back to the 7.4. That is to balance your body, because your manufacturer has made your body at 7.5. So if you go on drinking 9.5 also, that means you're overdoing what you're not supposed to do. So please balance yourself. See when you want to bring it on. I wouldn't know how many months you want to drink and then bring it down to 8.5. But ideally start with 8 and 8.5 is absolutely good enough. Now, if you are confident that your filtration system, both inside and outside in your house, is good, then you resonate. Now, filtered river water and from natural resources, you can resonate, but it should be filtered. Directly going and catching the water from waterfall and then coming and directly resonating, we wouldn't know. But please see to that it is filtered and then what. Boiled water from bottled water from a reputed company, when you want to buy from directly from the shop, it's still acceptable. What you cannot, do not resonate the water which is picked up from the direct tap, especially in Malaysia. I would say no way, because the water color itself is like a brownish in color. So no way you can. There are a lot of sediment. And now, if water source you don't know, do not resonate it. Now, especially when people bring water to you and tell, can you resonate it for me? Yes, you can resonate, but you have to let them know, I don't know the source of water from where you are bringing it. So if I resonate, if there are impurities, if there are heavy metals inside, if it is contaminated, I am not responsible for the repercussion of the water you are drinking. So you make them very clear that it should be a pure filtered water. That is when we will be able to resonate. Other than that, some people, most of the people who don't have any filtration system, what they do, they just catch the water from directly, pick the water from the tap, boil it, and they think that just by boiling you're only killing the bacteria, nothing else. But other impurities, it's still there in the water. So please do not, there will be people who will be bringing you boiled water saying that please resonate and give me. Please do not use a resonating technique to the boiled water if it is not a filtered and clean. So ultimately what I'm trying to tell you is you need a clean water, and then when you resonate, it's beautiful. This is a very, very basic principle. So you don't need to get confused. You just need a pure. That is where the company has given a fantastic filter. You just fix it in your water tap, and then the water is so clean that when you resonate, it has all the good properties. And this is what Singapore, they got the testing done, which is a fantastic testimony for us to know that water, the filtration system, what the company gives is fantastic, good enough. Now, who can drink this water? This is a question many times people will be asking, doctor, can I drink? I would say all human beings and animals are eligible to drink this water, number one. But as long as they don't have any complicated multiple diseases, it's safe, easier, because when there is already an existing, for example, if you have any existing disease, then you must take precautions or caution to drink it in a moderation, slowly make your body balance, understand that you're drinking this water, and then slowly increase it. You have to give it a try. And number three is you have to allow your body to adjust to terahertz water. Now, there might be a situation where I wouldn't know, but I would say 1 to 2% of the population may not suit this particular terahertz water, which has got all the high qualities. So they, since they cannot use it, but I wouldn't know who can or who cannot use it. But it is possible in the world's situation, because 1 to 2% always are or a population where you cannot. Like for example, in my practice, I see 1 to 2% where people are allergic to paracetamol, Panadol. They are allergic to the steroids. Normally, steroids we give for an emergency situation. Steroids they cannot give. Then allergy situation, we give antihistamine tablets. Even that they are allergic to. So then what medicines can you give? You cannot give any medicines to them. So 1 to 2% population, we do not know. Now, special caution is a must for people having cardiac diseases, kidney diseases, lung diseases, or any other serious diseases. You need to take the proper medical guidance and then test this water slowly. But if you are bold enough that you want to just go ahead and drink this water, you can drink, provided start with 250 ml. This is what is very, very important. Start with low dosage of around 250 ml, and then you need to drink every time you drink should be between 50 to 100 ml of water, terahertz water when you drink it, and give a space of every 1 hour or 30 minutes to 1 hour. Give a space and then start drinking so that the water is picked up by your cells when you drink from the mouth until to the your stomach. Before it goes only, it will get absorbed because you are drinking very little by little, it will get absorbed. Now if you drink a lot, for example, you're going to drink a 500 ml to 1 liter one shot. Now what can happen? You can have diarrhea. This is very, very common. I have seen in many people when they drink one shot, they can have a loose motion. So this is where you need to be a little careful. Allow your body, especially if your gut is very, very sensitive, you need to go on a very, very slow pace so that you give a body to adjust to it. So take charge and take responsibility, and anything you do in moderation is always a good situation for you. And in the pursuit of cure, like you want to cure your diseases, do not land up in confusion. Always look for healing solution in a holistic manner, be it for your body, be it for your mind, and be it for your soul. You need to see as a comprehensive mechanism that makes you think more easily. It has to be a whole situation in one, so that it is a multi-dimensional task, so that it becomes much more easier. Now, definitely, Tera's device is not a medical device, and of course, from our medical perspective, and definitely, even the company will not claim that, okay, we cured this disease and this disease. So out there, people, whenever you're buying an instrument, please do not look at this instrument that your disease. See what happens, your mind is so notorious. Every time, the moment you think of something, you're already having a disease, what will happen? You want a cure from the disease. It's beautiful. I don't deny that we all are here, we want to cure the disease, but you should understand that everything has a limitation, and everything depends on the situation. At what level are you? If you are having a very complicated disease and a body system is not fully equipped to handle, by even by drinking water, you can face some situation. So this is where you need to be a little more balanced. That's when we can start moving forward. This is where we are all here, and your leaders are there, people who recommended, they can guide you, and we are here to guide you to move forward. So in the given situation, uh, be clear, you're drinking this water for the good benefit of every cell of your body, number one. Number two, when your cells are getting the good benefit, your organs will automatically get the good benefit. So if at all you have a disease or a situation, not to worry, step by step, if you can slowly move with increasing the water amount, definitely you will be able to get the benefit. Now, very important, how much of water can be drank? To start with is 250 ml, a maximum of such of those who are starting new. What you can do, the best option is per day 500 ml, start off, drink for 3 to 7 days. You're okay, your body is okay, then increase it to 1 liter in the next 1 to 2 weeks. If you're still okay, then increase it to 1.5 liters. So maximum would be 2 liters is good enough for your body. But if you want to give it a try wherein you want to give a little more water to your body, it's not a problem. So if at all you are supposed to drink 3.5 liters of water, 2 liters of terahertz is good enough, but the remaining 1.5 liters you can consume the normal water. But I am drinking fully 3 liters to 3.5 liters of terahertz water. I have no issues because I take the risk, I take the responsibility, and I move forward. Anything my body speaks, I know what to do. So I can answer my body and I can respond to my body. Now, there is one news before I close it. I wish to share it with you is today is my 11th day of fasting. I am fasting for the past 11 days. I am drinking only terahertz water, number one. Of course, I am consuming little bit of fruits, and little bit of vegetables, cooked vegetables. In the past 10 days, I have, there is absolutely no heavy food, and there is no heavy bread or anything is there. It's only on water. So the water is the main. Now Terahertz water is the one I'm drinking. Now, can you believe after 11 days of my fasting, even today, I'm going to continue this. I'm very healthy. I'm still energetic. Look at, I'm here with you people. Every day there is, my consultation goes on 3 to 4 hours. It goes on for one patient. So what happens? That means I'm still energetic. You also can become the same way as me, become healthier, put a test to your body, and then slowly change to become much, much better. Now with this, until I meet you back, I think probably next week the subject will be a little different. So until I decide what subject, thank you all and bless you in abundance with lots of love from our team of terahertz and from the golden hands. Thank you very much.